It's almost an indoctrination of homelessness. It's like you get it in your head that homelessness becomes a survival tool for you. And that was sort of my backup plan. We ask people to get to this point in life, to be successful, you need to do this, and to do this, and you need to get to housing, you need to fill out all these sheets, right? But I feel like there's so many steps in between that, if you come from a background where you don't know anything or you haven't had the opportunities, you need to learn those life skills. We need to teach people how to live. I just didn't grow up in a normal family. I didn't have a home that my parents purchased to live at any one given time. I think when you have that, you feel that you're able to accomplish things and you're able to create a home life and have that stability going into any situation in your life. I was in multiple foster homes until the time I was 24. I just bounced around, and that was life for me. That was all that I knew. I would just remember the very first time that I tried to get an apartment by myself, and I ran into an issue where I wasn't able to pay the rent anymore at this apartment, and they had kicked me out for the very first time. I just remember this overwhelming feeling of not having anywhere to go. I felt, how do I do this? I felt like where do I go? How do I begin to even think about finding a place? Where do I go for resources? Where do I go for help? How do I keep myself sheltered for tonight? It was very scary. It was very overwhelming. I remember leaving the house and going for a walk and just crying and feeling like I felt really helpless for myself and really optionless at that time. People don't understand that mentality. They think, oh, why don't you just go apply there, put your thing. It takes so much mental energy to just get through the day, to figure out where you're gonna, what's your meal gonna be at night? Is it gonna be refrigerated? Are you gonna spend money to buy food at a restaurant? Are you have to get to the gym by a certain time? You have to sort of create a plan for your day, right? You can't just sit around in your car reading a newspaper in the hot sun while you boil in your car. You have to go somewhere. You have to figure out what you're gonna do with your days. So you're going places, you're driving here, spending gas. It's tough. It's a whole mental, it takes everything. It takes everything from you. So I moved in to my church's basement. Believe it or not, they had some wonderful office space down there. It was great because I didn't, have to get up early. I was there already on Sundays. And then I got a call from Bethany Hill saying that, that they had an apartment available. The timing was perfect. It took me a while to when I first got here, to settle down. I felt very jittery. I felt very uneasy. I felt like I was going to be asked to leave. I felt like I was not able to put anything on a shelf just yet. I was like, if this doesn't work, I still have my car and I can move back in, right? So I'm okay with that. Right? So I was okay with that. It took me almost a year and a half before I got here to unpack a box. And I think the first thing I did was unpack my spices in the kitchen because I love to cook, and it was so nice to just have an oven, right? I deserve a place to live. I deserve a place to put my head. I deserve sheets on the bed. I deserve a bed. How I thrive is I find a lot of gratitude in the journey. I really come from it, that was my past, right? But I'm not a victim anymore. I get to make better choices. I'm just very motivated. I'm probably more on fire now than I've ever been. I was on fire when I was in the van and living homeless as well, but I felt a little stunted. I was like, I don't know when I'll be able to get to these things. And it was almost like a COVID quarantine in my car, because I was like, I want to do so much, but I just don't have access. Speaking for myself, why I think this place needs to be here is the sense of community. Everyone was so kind to me. They gave me the space I needed to just chill and get acclimated to things and get used to my new apartment. It's nice to be surrounded by nature, just being surrounded by trees and not city walls, or there's a sense of security. I think it's amazing to feel listened to. I noticed what I can only identify as letting people live. I just feel like at Bethany Hill, people meet you where you are. And I just remember this, 6 months in, Lisa said to me, she's like, if it's a difference of you needing to buy groceries and paying rent, we want you to buy groceries. And I just remember how overwhelmed by that kindness that I felt. I felt so like I could just exhale. It opened up opportunity, which I think is the biggest thing.